Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Thanks for joining us today.
Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, so you're gearing up for the NEET exam, or maybe you've just walked out of the hall. All the talk is about the score, right? But today, we're going to break down the super complex, absolutely crucial process that happens after the results come out: counseling. Nailing the exam and getting a fantastic rank is a huge deal for sure, but it's not a golden ticket that automatically gets you a seat. Think of your NEET result like a key. It gets you into the building. But counseling, that's the process of actually finding your room and unlocking the door. It's just the first step. So what exactly is counseling? Well, it's the official, super-structured process that kicks off once your results are out. It is literally the bridge that takes your rank and turns it into an actual seat in a medical college. And get this, if you have a top score but mess up the counseling, you could walk away with nothing. Yeah, it's that important.
Now, here's something a lot of people don't realize. There isn't just one single counseling process for everyone. Nope. Depending on the kind of medical degree you're chasing, you could be dealing with a completely different organization. You've got to know which path is yours.
This table lays it all out beautifully. If you're going for MBBS, BDS, or nursing, your go-to is the MCC. For Ayush courses, like Ayurveda or homeopathy, that's the AACC. And for all you future vets, it's the VCI. And the key thing is, each one has its own website, its own deadlines, its own rules. You have to be on top of the right one. Okay, so on top of all those different authorities, there's another huge layer to this whole thing. It's a nationwide system for allocating seats that you absolutely, positively need to understand. This is the famous 85-15 split. Here's the deal. In any state, 85% of the seats in its government medical colleges are kept just for students from that state. The other 15%, that's the All India Quota, or AIQ. Those seats are up for grabs for students from anywhere in the country. This is exactly why you see such wildly different cutoff ranks from state to state. All right, let's talk money. And this is the part that honestly catches so many families completely by surprise. We're talking about the serious, upfront cash you need just to be allowed to participate in counseling. This isn't your tuition fee, this is the cost of entering. So when you go to register, you're going to see two totally different payments you have to make. One is a pretty standard fee, but the other is a much, much larger deposit. First up, you've got the registration fee. It's non-refundable, and it's usually somewhere between 1 and 5,000 rupees. Simple enough. But then there's the security money. This is a big, refundable deposit, and it's basically there to make sure you play by the rules. So the big question is, just how much cash are we talking about for that security deposit? Well, as you're about to see, it completely depends on what kind of college seat you're hoping to get. And wow, just look at that difference. For a government college seat, the deposit is pretty manageable, maybe 10 to 30,000 rupees. But if you're even thinking about a private dental seat, that jumps to 1 lakh. And for a private MBBS seat, you're looking at a 2 lakh rupee deposit. In some states, it's even more than that. And this brings us to a really critical point. Think about it. You might want to apply for the All India Quota and your state quota and maybe AIIMS just in case. Each one needs its own registration and security deposit. That money can stack up incredibly fast, which means your family needs to have a pretty serious budget ready to go before counseling even starts. Okay, now that we've covered the money part, let's get into the real strategy. We're talking about the most important step in the entire process, where you tell the system exactly which colleges you want. It's called choice filling. The process looks simple on paper, but trust me, getting it right is everything. First, you got to do your homework. Find every single college where your rank gives you a realistic shot. Then comes the critical part. You create your priority list. You rank them all, from your absolute dream school down to your safest bet, and then you submit that list online. Now here's a classic rookie mistake, making a short list with only your top 5 dream colleges. The system is just a computer program. It's brutally logical. It looks at your first choice, then your second, your third, and so on. If it gets to the end of your list and hasn't found an open seat for you, you get nothing in that round. Period. That's why a long, carefully ordered list with a mix of dream schools, realistic options, and safe bets is the only smart way to play this game. So after all that, what are the most important things you and your family should be doing right now, today, to get ahead of the game, even before the counseling dates are announced? Here is your essential action plan. Number 1, watch those deadlines like a hawk. Miss one and you are out. Number 2, get all your documents sorted and ready to go now. 3, and this is a big one, get your budget in order for all those fees and deposits. 4, know your options, which counseling bodies should you even be targeting. And finally, remember the best strategy of all is to score as high as you possibly can. A better score makes this whole stressful process way simpler.
We've gone through the different authorities, the quotas, the costs, and the strategies. So after all this, what's the single most important thing you need to walk away with? It's this: your preparation cannot stop the minute you put your pen down on exam day. Not even close. The planning, the budgeting, the research, and the strategy for counseling are just as vital as all those hours you spent studying. Acing the exam gets you to the starting line. Acing counseling is what actually gets you across the finish line. And that leaves us with one final and maybe uncomfortable question to think about. Not after the results, but right now. A great score can open a lot of doors, but not being financially prepared for the counseling process itself can slam them right back in your face. So, is your family ready?